So let us start. Is my screen visible?
No, sir, not yet.
So question number 2. Let us write question number 2 first. What according to Descartes is this visible to everybody? Question of 2017. Yes. Is it?
Yes, sir, visible.
So what according to Descartes is clear and distinct idea? What is the epistemological status of clear and distinct idea? Does this account help Descartes prove that material objects exist? So 3 parts are in the question. I am giving you 11 minutes, 7:41:42. I'll be checking the answer. Please mail. It is a direct question. You don't have to do much, then copy paste the notes. So start writing. Yes. Written the answer. Anybody? Please submit quickly. Gauri, Kanchan, Shabya,
Yes, sir.
Dipesh, Abhishek, Rituraj.
Sending, sir.
Quickly.
Send, sir.
Yes. What, according to Descartes, is clear and distinct idea? What is the epistemological status of clear and distinct idea? Does this account help Descartes prove material objects exist? So part 1, part 2, and part 3. So Descartes in Cartesian method has argued that only those things that we can conceive very clearly and distinctively are true, or basically meaning something. आप सीधा ये लिखिए that Descartes in his method of doubt, or Descartes in his method puts a criteria that only that thing will be accepted as true, which is clear and
Yes.
distinct. So this is one of his criterias of truth. Okay. To be clear, ऐसा लिखे, to be clear means, okay, to be distinct means, ठीक है. एक एग्जांपल दे दीजिए. Descartes doubted everything but accepted cogito ergo sum. I think therefore I am as true as it is clear and distinct. To which he says, I can doubt everything but I cannot. See here, there is a kind of repetition.
I tried to explain. I thought, okay, sir.
Yes.
Got it.
Now you have to write about the epistemological status. So it is clear and distinct is the criteria of truth. Here now when it is raised, why it is the criteria of truth? What does Descartes say? The veracity of God stands as the guarantor of the methodological criterion, or the ontological assumption is the guarantor of the methodological criterion. Then Descartes has accepted idea of God as clear and distinct, and this idea leaves no room for existence of material objects. This is not correct. See, once he establishes cogito from method of doubt, from cogito, he logically deduces God. Then he logically deduces belief in external world. External world को वो कैसे deduce करते हैं? He deduces external world. He says that I have clear ideas of motion, extension, color, etc. What can be its cause? इन सब ideas का cause क्या हो सकता है? So what can be its cause? Can I be the cause? Yes,
No.
Shevya? No. I cannot be cause because I is substance, sorry, I is consciousness, cannot be the cause of material objects. Can God be the cause? Yes. Can God be the cause?
No, sir.
No, because God will be a deceiver. Because I clearly see what reality is clearly otherwise. And what is that reality? That these ideas are actually coming from, are clearly and distinctively coming from external things. Yes. Themselves. Therefore, external things or belief in external world is established based on clear and distinct idea. यहाँ के बाद आप क्या लिखेंगे? Let us see what you have written. Now it could be said that God can be deceiver, no external world exists, but according to Descartes, God is not deceiver but truthful being, and our sensation must be caused by these real bodies. ठीक है, यहाँ तक ठीक लिखा आपने. Then इसके बाद क्या लिखेंगे कंक्लूजन में? With the establishment of external world, Descartes gives birth to the perennial problem in Western philosophy. That is of, what is the perennial problem in Western philosophy? Yes, dualism. That is cogito or mind and external world or matter. So you can end this answer on Cartesian dualism. बीच में आप जो है clear and distinctiveness को criticize भी करेंगे. Before you are coming to the belief in the external world, you will also be criticizing the epistemological status of clear and distinct idea. You will write that he has introduced modern rationalism through the circuitous route of scholasticism. There is element of circularity. Is this clear, this answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us see if there is any other answer, and then we will write the model answer. Okay, good. Rituraj has also written after a long time. Descartes for centuries saw that despite some of the best minds in philosophy, yet not a single proposition was under dispute. Thus, he routed certainty in philosophy like mathematics. For this, he gave his method of deduction alone. Would any deduction would require self-evident axiom. Self-evident axiom has to be clear and distinct. Thoda sa this introduction became slightly extended. आप सीधा यहाँ से भी चालू कर सकते थे. Descartes wanted the certainty in philosophy like that of mathematics, for which he wanted a method of philosophizing, for which he states that deduction alone could yield certainty. Any deduction would require self-evident axioms which have to be clear and distinct. इसके बाद ये part redundant है, इसकी जरूरत नहीं है. Again, this is also not required here. Not required. Here you have deviated from the question. Rewrite based on feedback. Did you understand the problem? Yes. Next, Sheve. What, according to Descartes, is clear and distinct idea? What is the epistemological status of clear and distinct idea? Does this account help Descartes prove the material objects exist? Explain. Certitude of mathematics in philosophy to reach self-evident axiom that I doubt cannot be doubted. Again, this is not required here. What is the basis for this? Question is on what, according to Descartes, is clear and distinct idea. So here, Rituraj's introduction was better. ठीक है, cogito is true because it is to be clear an idea must be present to the mind, open to the mind must also attend to it. To be distinct, it may be not confused with anything else. Example. Here, Shavya, you write cogito. That I doubt cannot be
Doubted.
doubted.
Yes, sir.
जो आपने ऊपर लिखा है एक्चुअली में वो यहाँ लिखा जाएगा. I think, therefore, I am. My consciousness is a means distinctively of revealing myself as existing. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thus, Descartes' criteria of truth is that anything can be accepted to be true or real if it is clear and distinct. Here you have to talk about, okay, epistemological status. How in epistemological status he will go on to prove God's existence from cogito? What is the relation? Yes. Epistemological status, you have to talk about God and criteria of truth relation. Okay.
Okay, sir. So I was confused as to
Yes.
what to write.
Yes. Then what about the third part? Belief in external world. Why not written the third part?
The time exhausted.
Please rewrite the answer after the feedback. Anybody, Kanchan, Gauri, or Abhishek, in all three of you, any of you have written a better answer according to your opinion? Otherwise, simply I'll write.
Sir, I have mentioned external world. I don't know if better.
चलिए आपका चेक कर देते हैं एक बार. एक तो आपको लास्ट टाइम बोला था A4 शीट लेने के लिए.
Sir, I have ordered the copy. It will most probably come tomorrow.
A4 शीट वैसी आती है ना, like
Yes, sir, I have also ordered the copy also.
of UPSC. You can simply print. इस A4 शीट में अगर आपके पास प्रिंटर है ना घर पे, no need to like purchase the copy. जस्ट A4 शीट पे यूपीएससी जो है ना क्वेश्चन कम आंसर बुकलेट का सैंपल देती है.
Okay,
आप
sir.
प्रिंट कर सकते हैं.
Okay, sir.
What according to Descartes is clear and distinct idea? What is the epistemological status? Does this account help Descartes prove that material objects exist? Explain. पहले यहाँ पे एक्चुअली हम पहुंचे कैसे क्लियर एंड डिस्टिंक्ट तक? Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Apologies, I got disconnected. Dipesh, please change the host. लास्ट कहाँ तक सुना था आपने? Before I got disconnected. Yes.
Sahyog
I think we're
Mentorship.
seeing Abhishek's copy, right?
Yes.
So अभिषेक, पहले तो यहाँ पर हमको बताना है कि हम क्लियर एंड डिस्टिंक्ट तक कैसे आए. Problem, then criteria of clear and distinct, then what is clear and distinct, its epistemological status, and then does this account help belief in external world. That can be accepted to be true or real if it is clear. यहाँ पर जो है आपने एक circuitous route of scholasticism ले लिया. Actually what you are trying to mean, I'm not able to understand. According to him, the concept of God stands fairly since God creates clear and distinct innate ideas in man's mind. Okay. Descartes states that veracity of God is the ultimate touchstone of knowledge and that we clearly and distinctively perceive must be true. ये बात ठीक है. He has established here the epistemological status. Otherwise, God will become a deceiver. Existence of God is a guarantee against any doubt on agnosticism. Again, very important point. Veracity of God means that universe is rational and we can search without being deceived. ठीक है. और एक और लिख लीजिए that these ideas are clearly and distinctively in external objects. So Descartes is a realist or a idealist? क्योंकि एपिस्टेमोलॉजिकल स्टेटस में हमको 4-5 बातें बतानी होती है. एक, सोर्स ऑफ वैलिड नॉलेज, वैलिडिटी ऑफ नॉलेज. जब भी किसी चीज, म्यूट कर लीजिए, somebody's mic is on. वैलिडिटी ऑफ नॉलेज, एरर, फोर्थ, relation between knower and knowable. So these are some of the things which everybody has to write whenever an epistemological status has to be written. Okay. Therefore, एक दो बातें तो आपने बता दी, that clear and distinct is the source of valid knowledge. It is treated as the criteria of truth in his philosophy. Then validity of knowledge के लिए आपने God से इसको जो है लिंक कर दिया. God is standing as the guarantor. Veracity of God is the ultimate truth stone of knowledge. For that we clearly and distinctly perceive must be true. Otherwise God will become deceiver, etc. Validity की बात आपने कर ली. Error के बारे में आप कहेंगे error is because of confused ideas which are primary or secondary quality.
Secondary quality.
Secondary quality. Relation between knower and knowable. Descartes is a realist. He believes that these ideas exist separately and independently of the knowledge of them. Okay. And then you come to the third part, whether does he establish the belief in the external world based on these ideas. Let us see, वो लिखा है आपने क्यों. Okay. So the cause of these external ideas is the external bodies themselves and clear and perception. ठीक है. Okay. So, and criticism and conclusion. Conclusion में once he has established the external world, तो एक तरफ cogito establish हो गया और एक तरफ external world establish हो गया. So what has he given birth to?
Cartesian dualism.
Yes, he has given birth to Cartesian dualism, or he has given birth to dualism, which will be a perennial problem to reconcile. And after Descartes, every philosopher will have to give up one of the three realities accepted as true by Descartes: God, soul और world. ये भी था, ये भी एक कंक्लूजन आप लिख सकते हैं अपने में कि डेकार्ट के बाद आने वाले सभी फिलोसोफर्स को कम से कम इन तीन रियलिटीज में से एक रियलिटी को त्यागना पड़ा. अंडरस्टूड?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let us, do you still require the model answer या clear है सभी को? Yes. Should we still write the model answer?
Yes, sir, please.
Yes, sir.
चलिए ठीक है, लिख लेते हैं. Yes, Vikas, what is the question? विकास नहीं आया क्या आज? Abhishek, what is the question?
What, according to Descartes, is a clear and distinct idea? What is the epistemological status of clear and distinct idea? Does this
Yes.
account help Descartes prove that material objects exist?
Prove that
Explain. Material objects exist.
material objects exist.
Exist. Explain.
What is the year?
2017.
Sorry,
So 2017.
2017. So सबसे पहले Descartes wanted the certitude of mathematics in philosophy, for which he was certain that deduction alone could yield such self-evident axioms in search of such truths. सबसे पहले वो क्या करते हैं? In search of such truths, he puts the broad principle for his guidance. What is that broad principle? Yes, सभी लोग बताइए मेरे साथ. What is that broad principle?
That our doubt
Resolute,
cannot be doubt.
yes, resolute refusal to believe in what is not, yes, clearly and distinctively perceived. अब यहां से हम क्लियरली और डिस्टिंक्टिवली परसीव्ड के बारे में एक एक लाइन लिख दें. अंडरस्टूड? यस शैव्य?
Yes, sir.
टू बी
Yes, sir.
क्लियर, यस, ऐसे यहाँ पे अंडरलाइन कर दीजिए. टू बी क्लियर एन आइडिया मस्ट बी, याद होगा आप लोगों को, बताते जाइए. प्रेजेंट टू द माइंड, उसके आगे
Present to the mind.
यस, माइंड मस्ट
Open
बी,
the mind.
सॉरी, हाँ, ओपन टू द माइंड, करेक्ट. मेरे से भी ज्यादा याद है आपको तो.
यही सर देख रही
ओपन
हूँ
टू द माइंड,
जो लिखा है.
यस, एंड माइंड मस्ट बी अटेंटिव टू इट. पूरा नहीं भी याद हो तो कम से कम आइडिया मस्ट बी प्रेजेंट टू द माइंड एंड माइंड मस्ट बी अटेंटिव टू इट, इतना भी याद रहे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, that I doubt cannot be doubted. To be distinct means that which is, yes Abhishek बताइए, that which is
Precisely
precisely,
determined,
yes, precisely determined,
and it shall not be
हाँ,
confused with
yes,
anything else.
so that it may not be confused with, yes, very good, आप ही लोग आंसर लिखवा दे रहे. Anything else? For example, I think, therefore I am, that is, my consciousness is a means of, Kanchan, my consciousness is a means of, कंचन नहीं है क्लास में.
And
Yes, revealing myself as something existing. रिवाइज नहीं हुआ है कंचन. सो क्लियर एंड डिस्टिंक्ट, हाँ, व्हाट इज क्लियर एंड डिस्टिंक्ट यहां तक एड्रेस हो गया. ऑन द एपिस्टेमोलॉजिकल स्टेटस, नाउ व्हाट अभिषेक हैज रिटन इन हिज आंसर. एपिस्टेमोलॉजिकल स्टेटस के बारे में अभिषेक ने एक डिस्कशन लिखा है. सो व्हाट वुड वी राइट अभिषेक ऑन द एपिस्टेमोलॉजिकल स्टेटस? Yes, the veracity of God is the,
Ultimate touchstone of all
yes,
knowledge.
ultimate touchstone of all knowledge. For he cannot be accepted to be, H capital लिखिएगा, created us to err, and all that we clearly and distinctively perceive must be true, otherwise God will become yes
A deceiver.
a deceiver. To account for error in knowledge, Descartes takes recourse in confused ideas generated from yes Dipesh, confused ideas are generated from primary qualities or secondary qualities.
Secondary, sir.
Secondary qualities like taste, smell, etc. Descartes was a realist, for he believed that ideas clearly and distinctively existed irrespective of our knowledge of them, yeah, irrespective of their knowledge. ओके सो यहाँ पर हमने वो जो चारों पिलर है, व्हाट इज द सोर्स ऑफ नॉलेज, वैलिडिटी ऑफ नॉलेज, एरर एंड रिलेशन बिटवीन नोअर एंड नोएबल, ऑल दोस पार्ट्स वी हैव addressed, and therefore हम क्या लिखेंगे, therefore the existence of God as a guarantor against for as a guarantor for clear and distinct as the criteria of truth stands against any future doubt or agnosticism. However, modern rationalism is introduced by Descartes by the circuitous route of yes scholasticism, for he argues in a सर्कल. अब हम यहाँ चाहें तो इसको एक्सप्लेन भी कर सकते हैं, बट वी डोंट हैव द टाइम टू डू सो, और यू कैन एक्सप्लेन हाउ द सर्किटियस रूट ऑफ स्कॉलिस्टिसिज्म इज देयर. एक लाइन में आप लिख देंगे या एक डायग्राम ही आप बना दीजिए. इनेट आइडिया ऑफ गॉड, गॉड एग्जिस्ट्स, veracity of God, it is the guarantor of yes clear and distinct as a criteria of truth, and innate idea of God is a clear and distinct idea. तो एक बॉक्स बना के ऐसे आप लिख देंगे फिगर fallacy of petitio principii. However, Descartes goes on to state that या ऐसे लिख लीजिए, besides cogito and God, Descartes अब ये जो है एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड के बारे में चले जाएंगे. एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड के बारे में वो कहेंगे कि हमको जो है एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड के भी आइडियाज मिलते हैं. सो बिसाइड्स द आइडिया ऑफ गॉड एंड सेल्फ, वी ऑल्सो एक्सपीरियंस many ideas of extension, motion, solidity, color, etc. What could be the cause of these ideas? I cannot be the cause. For I am a thinking being. On the other side, God is not the cause. Why God is not the cause, Shavya?
So he can't
Because
deceive.
because God is not a deceiver. Therefore, ideas are clearly and distinctively coming out of external physical objects which exist. So he has established the reality of external physical objects which exist. Conclusion में आप लिखेंगे Descartes, by establishing the belief in external world, gave birth to the perennial problem in Western philosophy, that is of, repeat after me, what is the perennial problem in Western philosophy? Of mind body
Dualism.
या तो आप एक ये कंक्लूजन लिख सकते हैं और you can write one more conclusion that I showed while you people were writing the answers. In fact, while you were writing the answers, I showed the exact paragraph कि आपको कहाँ कहाँ से क्या कॉपी पेस्ट करना है. So, हम जो है इस पार्ट को लिख सकते थे. Every philosopher from the time of Descartes has tried to solve the puzzle of dualism and in the process had to shed one of the three substances believed real by Descartes, God, mind and body. एक ये conclusion हो सकता है, and then one conclusion can be on Cartesian dualism. That conclusion also you can write. That is, any dualistic philosophy cannot be resolved without establishing monism, or you can also write there can be no real remedy of a fancied merit. Any of them you can write. ठीक है. So is the answer structure clear? Descartes wanted the certitude of mathematics in philosophy, for which he was certain that deduction alone could yield such self-evident axioms. In search of such truths, he puts a broad principle for his guidance: resolute refusal to believe in what is not clearly and distinctively perceived. To be clear, an idea must be present to the mind, open to the mind. Mind must be attentive to it. To be distinct means that which is precisely determined so that it may not be confused with anything else. On the epistemological status, veracity of God is the ultimate touchstone of all knowledge, for he cannot have created us to err. All that we clearly and distinctively perceive must be true, otherwise God will become a deceiver. To account for error in knowledge, Descartes takes recourse in confused ideas generated from secondary qualities. Descartes was a realist, for he believed that ideas clearly and distinctively existed, irrespective of their knowledge. Therefore, the existence of God as a guarantor for clear and distinct as a criteria of truth stands against any future doubt or agnosticism. However, modern rationalism is introduced by Descartes by the circuitous route of scholasticism, for he argues in a circle. Circle का argument आपको दिखा दिया. Besides cogito and God, we experience many ideas of extension, solidity. यहाँ पर ऐसे लिख दीजिए. Further, according to Descartes, यहाँ पे एक ऐड कर दीजिए just to maintain the continuity of the answer. What would be the cause of these ideas? I cannot be the cause. God is not the cause. Therefore, ideas are clearly, distinctively coming out from external physical objects which exist. Descartes, by establishing the belief in external world, gives birth to the perennial problem in Western philosophy of mind and body dualism. Absolutely clear answer.
Yes, sir.
Anybody wants to add, subtract, comment? Yes. Chali. So now let us move to the next question. Pace is very, very slow today. Examine Kant's criticism of Descartes' view of self. बहुत ज्यादा यहाँ पे नहीं पढ़ना है आपको, कांट में पढ़ना है आपको इन फैलेसी ऑफ पैरेललिज्म, लेकिन आपको पता है बस कि दैट Descartes views the self as a knowable, it should always be knower, है ना? तो यहाँ पर बहुत डिटेल में आंसर नहीं लिखना है, we will do this when we write Kant. Okay. चलिए एक इजी क्वेश्चन लिख लेते हैं. एक्सप्लेन द डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ, या पहले ये लिख लीजिए. हाँ, just write fifth, then we will be writing is Descartes an essentialist. Okay, so explain the doctrine of Cartesian dualism and examine critically arguments in its favor. बहुत simple question है Cartesian dualism पे. We should write one question on Cartesian dualism. Okay, so start writing. Explain the doctrine of Cartesian dualism and examine arguments in favor of it. 8:32. It's a easy question, but still I am giving you 11 minutes. है नहीं 11 minute के लायक, but ठीक है. 8:43. I'll be evaluating. Please mail your answers. Start writing. Yes, written. Somebody's mic is on. Please close. Submitted the answer. Anybody? ये तो बहुत ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड कार्टेशियन डुअलिज्म. व्हाट आर द आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इन फेवर? क्रिटिकली एग्जामिन करना है. यस. Submit quickly within 1 minute. Abhishek, Shavya, Dipesh, Gauri, Kanchan, Amita. Rituraj. Who is Zoom user 13? There is somebody Zoom user 13. Ashish. Who is Zoom user 13? No name. If you don't identify yourself, if you don't write in the class, if you don't ask your doubts, what is the purpose? Do you have an identity crisis? भेजिए भाई, आंसर भेजिए. Shavya, Amita. Is my voice audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are all busy in writing very quickly, completing your answer. Why is it taking so long? You are stuck in the trap of writing all the 5 types of dualism. Yes. What was the time allocated? 8:32. 16 मिनट आप ले चुके हैं. 16 मिनट में आंसर लिख के भी हम क्या करेंगे? What would we do even after writing the answer after 16 minutes? No use. For such a straightforward direct question. यानी कि notes revise नहीं हो रहे हैं, notes रटे हुए नहीं हैं. How much more time?
Sir,
किस किसने? 1 more minute. Okay. किस किसने भेज दिया? Anybody send the answer? Zoom user 13. आपने भेजा आंसर। Zoom user must be writing in the chat, like Rituraj. Adipesh, what is Zoom user 13 writing?
Don't know, sir.
अरे भाई 8:50 हो गया, एक ही आंसर लिखना है क्या? इससे और डायरेक्ट और इजी सवाल कहाँ मिलेगा? चलिए, now time is up. So explain the doctrine of Cartesian dualism and examine critically arguments in favor. I don't understand why it took 18 minutes, 17 minutes to write one simple question. So after establishing world, we are discussing Cartesian dualism. So उससे पहले हमने एक dualism के बारे में बात करी है. Dualism is the philosophical theory based on this conception that two elements exist in nature, the material and the conscious, and accepts the fundamental distinction between mind and body, God and natural world. एक general definition आप दे सकते हैं, and then you can talk about Descartes in his Cartesian dualism. Cogito ergo sum first establishes a thinking or conscious mind, and later Descartes establishes the distinct external world based on veracity of God. This dichotomy is evident in our mind and body since both possess contradictory attributes. Mental exercise is not limited by body and space. ये चाहे तो statement छोड़ सकते हैं. Cartesian dualism can be understood in various other senses. Absolute and dependent substance. Substance is defined as that which does not require anything for its existence. In that sense, God is the only substance. Mind and body are dependent substance. बाकी सब में हम बहुत ज्यादा नहीं लिखेंगे. Qualitative dualism में the difference in the qualities of mind, which is consciousness, and body, that is extension. Third, epistemological dualism. There is a difference between uh, the knower and the knowable, primary and secondary qualities. The difference between primary and secondary qualities becomes the basis for Descartes to explain error. Then dualism of mind and body, that is there is infinite will and the finite intellect. और finally mind and body dualism, इसके बारे में हम 2-3 पॉइंट्स लिखेंगे और ये एक रिलेशन बनाएंगे. चाहे तो हम we can skip some of this. अगर हम चाहें तो प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी क्वालिटी, एपिस्टेमोलॉजिकल डुअलिज्म, डुअलिज्म ऑफ माइंड, वी कैन इवन स्किप इफ टाइम इज नॉट परमिटिंग. ठीक है, वी कैन ऑल्सो स्किप दिस पार्ट. इसको भी स्किप कर सकते हैं. हम डायरेक्टली एक लिख सकते हैं, एनालॉजी ऑफ द हॉर्स एंड हॉर्स राइडर, एंड देन other arguments to support. Argument from language, the duality is evident in language. We do not talk about love etc the same way we talk about extension number. Example, support from common sense. And then the objections. Objection mein number 1, there is a problem in establishing the relation. Pineal gland is a figment of Descartes' imagination. If mind and body are both independent, why does not one body have infinite minds? Then epistemological difficulty, Kant has raised this. My हाँ, so not epistemological, वो तो cogito ergo sum का है. Epistemological difficulty में if mind and matter are completely contradictory, how can there be a relation in their knowledge? Metaphysical difficulty, which of them is prior? Ethical difficulty, mechanistic explanation. Conclusion में, in the larger scheme, any dualistic philosophy, be it Cartesian dualism or Sankhya Prakriti Parinamvad, cannot be resolved without establishing monism in duality. ऐसा आप लिख सकते हैं. आप चाहें तो रसल की बात भी लिख सकते हैं. द कंस्ट्रक्टिव पार्ट ऑफ डेकार्ट्स फिलोसफी इज much less useful or much less interesting than the destructive part. So was the answer difficult? Yes. What was the confusion in writing? I would like to know why you took so long for so many people. One by one. Yes, Gauri.
I got little confused and it forgot in little parts of it.
Okay. Kanchan.
Writing speed.
Writing speed. Okay. ऋतुराज तो बोल नहीं सकते अभी. He has not been blessed so far. He will very soon start speaking. Dipesh.
Sir, someone was outside, so I had to receive. I'm
Acha,
so sorry.
you had gone outside. Okay. Abhishek.
सर स्पीड वाला थोड़ा इशू हो गया बट
स्पीड, तो स्पीड में मान लीजिए कि स्पीड में इशू भी हो रहा है, तो कम से कम 8:43-44 जो भी मिनट मिला था वहां पर जितना लिखा आपने स्कैन करके आंसर भेजे. एक्चुअली में आपको पता तो लगे कि आपने कितनी देर में कितना लिखा है, ये भी तो पता चले.
ओके
शैव्य.
सर.
So there's a power cut at my end. That is why I wasn't
अच्छा.
able to get.
So you are not able to see your copy and pen. Mind body dualism problem is there. Your mind is not able to connect with the matter. Amita.
Yes, apparently.
Okay. I understand. I think because of weather, there is a lot of power issues at several places.
Yes, sir.
Amita. Amita might be in hospital. I don't understand why some of you don't send single answer in class, and then why would you attend the answer writing class? यहाँ कोई प्रसाद तो बट नहीं रहे. आपको लिखना है, आंसर चेक कराना है, then only it will make sense to you. वरना ये सब जो भी हम बातें डिस्कस कर रहे हैं आप थोड़े दिन में भूल जाएंगे. If you don't write answers, पॉलिटी में एक टर्म है ना, by warrant under hand and seal. क्या मतलब होता है इसका? Many times you will see this term, president appoints by warrant under hand and seal. क्या मतलब है इसका? Yes. Any guess? So this means there is absolute authority. There is no qualification on the exercise of his power. He can appoint anybody. तो वो उनकी पावर जो है वो आती है. ऐसी ही पावर आपको आंसर राइटिंग में आएगी व्हेन यू विल राइट वारंट अंडर योर ओन हैंड एंड सील. अपनी हैंड राइटिंग में, अपने सील पे, अपने मोहर पे जिसको वो अपॉइंट कर देते हैं, तो उसके आप उस पर चैलेंज नहीं कर सकते. तो जब आप खुद लिखेंगे then only this answer writing will make sense. But some of you are, I don't know what you are doing. कुछ लोग तो अपना नाम भी बदल चुके हैं. चलिए. So should we write this answer, or was the question was the answer clear from the material that I showed? Yes.
Sir, it was clear.
Anybody wants the model answer? Many of you are sitting for that only, I think. I will take the silence as approval that answer is clear. So let us write the next question. मैं इसलिए भी नहीं लिख रहा हूँ क्योंकि इसमें कुछ लिखने के लिए है ही नहीं. There is not even requirement of me to bring connectivity. That is also there straight away from the notes. Now write this question. Does Descartes' cogito principle entail that he is an essentialist? Discuss. See, Descartes पे 3 या 4 तरीके के क्वेश्चन होते हैं. One question will be on Descartes' method. The other question will be on cogito ergo sum. The next set of question will be on God or external world. How does Descartes establish God? How does Descartes establish God और external world? इसको कैसे establish करते हैं Descartes? एक सवाल होगा Descartes का, what is the Descartes relation to other philosophers? जैसे कि Descartes का क्या रिलेशन है with respect to existentialist philosophers? Descartes का क्या रिलेशन है ह्यूसरल के साथ? Descartes का क्या रिलेशन है कांट के साथ? Descartes का क्या रिलेशन है एसेंशियलिस्ट फिलोसोफर्स के साथ? वो फिलोसोफर जो कहते हैं, आई मीन एग्जिस्टेंशियलिस्ट रादर आई शुड राइट, क्योंकि Descartes इज एन एसेंशियलिस्ट. सो एग्जिस्टेंशियलिस्ट, इनके साथ क्या रिलेशन? सो बेसिकली कंपैरिजन ऑफ Descartes विद दीज अदर फिलोसोफर्स, या फिर Descartes के जो कंटेम्पररी हैं उस समय के, दैट इज लाइबनिट्ज एंड स्पिनोजा, इनका आपस में क्या रिलेशन है, स्पेशली ऑन द कंसेप्शन ऑफ सब्सटेंस. तीनों ही सब्सटेंस के बारे में कुछ ना कुछ कहेंगे. तो यही सवाल बन सकते हैं Descartes पे. गॉड, एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड, Descartes, अदर फिलोसोफर्स, कोजिटो इर्गो सम एंड मेथड ऑफ Descartes. इसके अलावा कोई क्वेश्चन ही नहीं बन सकता. आप चाहे तो देख लीजिए कांट्स क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ Descartes व्यू ऑफ सेल्फ. हाउ डज Descartes cogito ergo sum affect Hume and Kant's transcendental philosophy? Why does Descartes not doubt existence of God? Explain Descartes' method of doubt. Can this be used to justify belief in God? Explain Cartesian. हाँ, एक और लिख लीजिए, Cartesian dualism can also be there, but God और cogito के बाद मिलके Cartesian dualism ही बन जाता है. I mean external world और cogito को लेके यहाँ पर Cartesian dualism is also one question. 5 कर लीजिए 4 के बजाय. Then how does Descartes prove the existence of world? Does Descartes doubt the existence of God? यही सारे सवाल हो सकते हैं. Descartes' mind body dualism, mind body to interactive substance. I think therefore there is not the sixth kind of question that can come in Descartes. ये 6 सवाल लिख लिए आपने, Descartes आपका 100% complete हो गया for any question that can be asked in the foreseeable future. कुछ सोचना ही नहीं है इसके बाद. ये 6 सवाल ही आपको बस रट के रखना है Descartes की फिलोसफी में. अगले फिलोसफी पे बढ़ जाना है. भले आप नोट्स भी पूरा मत रिवाइज कीजिए वापस से, डज नॉट मैटर. बट फिर भी आप नहीं लिखना चाहते तो you can take the horse to the well. What you cannot do is, yes, what is the saying? You cannot make him drink. चलिए इसको लिखिए. Let us see how many of you try to write this question. 9:03 to, थोड़ा सा सोचने के लिए आपको समय देते हैं. 9:15 तक लिख लीजिए. I am giving you 12 minutes, which is extremely high, but start writing. Yes. Did anybody write? Yes. Did anybody write? बोलिए.
सर हाफ बट नॉट श्योर कैसा है, मतलब बीटिंग अराउंड द बुश वाला आंसर लिख रहा है.
Can anybody identify in what part of this notes something with respect to this essentialism is given? Where do we talk about cogito being the first existential proposition and its essential characteristic is consciousness, etc., etc.? Let us see if you have read the notes, revised the notes properly.
Significance of cogito reasoning.
Correct. Absolutely correct. In the significance of cogito ergo sum. So, while we are discussing the importance of cogito, so we are discussing cogito is the first existential proposition. We come in contact with a very important quality of consciousness, which will serve as a distinguishing marker in mind-body dualism. So, therefore, idea was given, hint was given that he is an essentialist philosopher, but some of you might not be knowing what is essentialism. ये हमको और क्लियर होगा जब हम कंटेम्पररी वेस्टर्न फिलोसफी में एक टॉपिक पढ़ते हैं, एक्सिस्टेंस प्रेसीड्स एसेंस. We discuss about the criticism laid by Kierkegaard and the criticism laid by John Paul Sartre. They are basically criticizing Descartes, they are criticizing Husserl, they are criticizing the essentialists by saying that existence precedes essence, not essence precedes existence. Okay, so we will understand what is essence, etc. in that topic. But however, since it is a very, very pertinent question to write in Descartes itself, let us write it. I'm sure not many of you might not have been able to attempt it. किसने लिखा है? अच्छा, very good.
Yes, sir. I did.
Very good, very good. Kanchan and Abhishek. Descartes applies deliberate doubt. When doubt is pushed to its furthest limit, it will reveal something that is indubitable. I think, therefore, I am is the foundational concept which reaches through his metaphysical skepticism, where he doubts everything he can. Now, this again is a repetition not required here. You have to immediately come to how this I think, therefore I am is linked with essentialism. What is the essential quality of I am? Yes, I think or consciousness. After outlining the skeptical part, now ventures to counter skepticism. We cannot doubt our existence. Okay. Again, this is also not required. We have to link the answer with with essentialism. So it was not a question on method of doubt. Not a question on cogito. Question तो कह रहा है, एक बार question पढ़िए. Does Descartes' cogito principle entail that he is an essentialist? तो आप शुरू में एक दो पैराग्राफ में बता दीजिए what is his cogito principle, and then you talk about what is essentialism and how does Descartes' cogito principle entail essentialism. ठीक है. Good part is you have at least written something. Descartes में एक प्रॉब्लम ये होती है, whenever you have a problem you will go to, in all the answers Descartes is very concerned with the state of philosophy. ये essentialism में philosophy के state से क्या लेना देना? Let us see how you are justifying.
Sir was coming to cogito.
अच्छा, while coming to cogito, my consciousness is the means of revealing myself as something existing and no other function apart from the consciousness can guarantee this. ठीक बात है. Other than this, so and so and so things, these are sufficient answer to any which hinders anything attaining certain knowledge. We also come in contact with a very important quality of consciousness. ठीक है, आप क्वेश्चन तो समझ गए हैं. At least you have written 2 correct paragraphs. But you had to discuss what is essentialism. Essentialism क्या है? वो कहता है कि एक कोई चीज का एक फिक्स्ड एसेंस है. Every entity has a fixed essence. Its essence precedes its existence. For example, the essence of any human being is humanness. Humanness example precedes any human being. ठीक है, तो ये बात बताते फिर आप कहते हैं इसमें कि in his philosophy the essence of cogito is that it is a thinking substance. Its essence is consciousness. The consciousness is a means of revealing the existence of cogito. It is so specific that no other function can reveal his existence with the same certainty. For example, I walk, therefore I am is not true. Also, it is holding a very strategic significance in his philosophy because he deduces everything else from cogito, whether it be God or belief in the external world. All that part, therefore you can write कि ये इतना essential है कि बाकी की सारी चीजें भी इसी से डिड्यूस करते हैं. ये भी एक पॉइंट यहाँ पे बन सकता है. ओके, सो एक तो एसेंशियल बात क्या है कोजिटो की कि इट इज थिंकिंग और कॉन्शियसनेस. और पहले कॉन्शियसनेस आता है या एग्जिस्टेंस आता है? आई थिंक, देयरफॉर आई एम. सो व्हाट इज प्रीसीडिंग एग्जिस्टेंस? शैव्या, existence is preceded by essence. And you can also write it is of very strategic significance in his philosophy because on the basis of cogito Descartes deduces rest of his philosophy, whether it be the existence and proof for God or whether it be the belief in the external world or mind body dualism. So that is also showing essentialism. फिर आप comparison लिख सकते हैं. A similar essence is in Platonian philosophy. Okay, you can mention that a similar kind of essence is there in Platonian philosophy. Then you will also write, however, later philosophers have criticized Descartes' conception of cogito as essentialism. For number one, existence is not a predicate, existence is not a quality. Existentialist philosophers say that existence precedes essence rather than the other way around. Kant has raised the epistemological challenge, that is, the self is the knower, it cannot be known. However, on summary of it, we can definitely conclude that his essentialism is definitely entailed in the cogito principle. You can write that. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, चलिए लिख लेते हैं इसको. I think all of you would be expecting me to write this answer, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
चलिए भाई लिख देते हैं. Yes, what is the question, Abhishek?
Does Descartes' cogito principle entail
Yes.
that he is essentialist?
Okay. Does Descartes cogito principle
Entail that he is essentialist.
entail that he is an essentialist? आगे
बस सर इतना ही है.
डिस्कस है ना शायद. Which year?
2015.
15. Descartes, just give me 1 second. Yes, Descartes cogito ergo sum, or I think therefore I am, holds a strategic place in his philosophy. It holds a very significant or strategic place in his philosophy. Whether it entails essentialism would require us to understand what essentialism is. Essentialism is a philosophical doctrine which entails or which discusses that any entity has a fixed essence which precedes its existence. For example, humanness precedes the existence of any human being. This essential quality determines what it is, applying or comparing with Descartes' cogito principle. The essence of cogito is, what can we say about the essence of cogito? Yes. Is it's या ऐसा लिख लीजिए, the essence of cogito is consciousness. Thinking entails the thinker and not the other way round. Thinking comes first and then comes the thinker. On the basis of the attribute of consciousness, Descartes discovers the existence of self. Furthermore, this attribute of consciousness as a means of revealing myself as existing cannot be substituted. Cannot be substituted. Can it be substituted with any other quality? Can I say I walk, therefore I am? Yes.
No, sir.
Can I say this?
No,
Yes
sir.
or no?
No, sir.
No, we cannot say. So, therefore, it cannot be substituted by any other attribute like I walk, therefore I am. It is so essential in Descartes' philosophy that all other elements like God exists based on ideas of cogito, external world exists, for God is not a deceiver, are all derived या deduced logically from the principle of cogito, whose essence is consciousness. Now you may write a comparison. Similar essentialism can be traced back in the philosophy of Plato, etc. या फिर हम criticism लिख देंगे. This essentialism of Descartes is attacked by Hume, who says, what is Hume saying when he is going deep within himself? Is he able to find his this cogito? Yes. Whenever I look deeply into what I call myself, I stumble upon, सब नोट्स से लिख रहा हूं, बताइए क्या लिखा है नोट्स में? पर्टिकुलर आइडियाज of pain and pleasure, heat and cold, etc. At no point I am without them, and without them I am nothing. Further, the existentialist philosophers like Sartre and Kierkegaard attack Descartes' essentialism and say that existence precedes essence. That is good enough, or you may write one conclusion. So therefore, you can write the essentialism laid in cogito by Descartes is carry forward in rest of the Western philosophy thought. ऐसा कुछ लिख सकते, या modern rationalism is of Descartes is introduced, और या फिर ऐसा लिख लीजिए कि this principle of cogito as a thinking substance paves way for the important quality of the mind having consciousness as opposed to body having extension, laying the path for dualism in modern Western philosophy. ऐसा भी लिख सकते हैं. Okay, so you can write, in conclusion, the essence of cogito through the essence of cogito we come in contact with a very important quality, which is what I think Abhishek wrote in his answer. Very important quality of consciousness, या bracket में thinking, which will serve, अभिषेक बताइए इसके आगे क्या लिखूं, which will serve as a distinguishing marker
in mind body dualism.
in mind body dualism. So देख लीजिए एक बार. Question was, does Descartes' cogito principle entail that he is an essentialist? So Descartes' cogito ergo sum, or I think therefore I am, holds a very strategic place in his philosophy. यहाँ आप चाहें तो एक बार में बता भी सकते हैं क्या है ये cogito principle. Whether it entails essentialism would require us to understand what essentialism is. Essentialism is a philosophical doctrine which says that any entity has a fixed essence which precedes its existence. For example, humanness precedes the existence of any human being. This essential quality determines what it is. Applying or comparing with Descartes' cogito principle, the essence of cogito is consciousness. Thinking entails the thinker and not the other way around. On the basis of the attribute of consciousness, Descartes discovers the existence of self. Furthermore, this attribute of consciousness as a means of revealing myself as something existing cannot be substituted by any other attribute like I walk, therefore I am. It is so essential in Descartes' philosophy that all other elements like God exists, external world exists, are deduced logically from the principle of cogito, whose essence is consciousness. बार बार examiner को बताते रहिए essence करके. This, how many of you have watched the web series Office? English web series, American web series, I think. Office.
Yes, sir.
Nobody. So usme this Michael person, he keeps, when there is a choice to be made as a manager, so he keeps referring to the boss repeatedly, manager term, no, many times in a sentence.
Yes, sir.
So वैसे ही आप भी एग्जामिनर के सामने बार बार essentialism लिखते रहिए. So essentialism of Descartes is attacked by Hume, who says, whenever I look deeply into what I call myself, I stumble upon particular ideas of pain, pleasure. At no point I am without them, and without them I am nothing. Further, the existentialist philosophers like Sartre and Kierkegaard attack Descartes' essentialism, saying that existence precedes essence. In conclusion, the essence of through the essence of cogito, we come in contact with a very important quality of consciousness, which will serve as a distinguishing marker in mind-body dualism. Clear answer? Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So Descartes में हमने जो है सभी तरह के सवाल लिख लिए. We have written about Descartes' existence of God, Descartes' एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ गॉड नहीं लिखा है ना, हाउ डज डेकार्ट प्रूव द एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ गॉड? यस, एक क्वेश्चन है, लिख लीजिए, गॉड पे हमने नहीं लिखा है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 8, व्हाई डज डेकार्ट नॉट डाउट द एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ गॉड, एक्सप्लेन। एक सिमिलर क्वेश्चन यहाँ ऊपर भी पूछा है, explain Descartes' method of doubt. Can this method be used to justify his belief in the existence of God? Argue your case. Okay, so any one of them you can write. Just write question number 8. Slightly tricky. Why लिखा है तो थोड़ा सा tricky हो जाता है. Why does Descartes not doubt the existence of God? Explain. आप guess तो कर ही चुके होंगे, ये God और criteria of truth का question है. Plus, how does God gets established as an innate idea which is clear and distinct? बाद में आप criticize भी करेंगे circularity को. So I gave the hint so that you can write in that direction. लिखना चालू कीजिए. 9:43. Again, I am giving 12 minutes. 9:55. Please mail your answers. Start right. Yes, I think Shevya has written the answer. Why does Descartes not doubt the existence of God? Mute कर लीजिए. Why does Descartes not doubt the existence of God? Explain. So, through his criteria of truth, Descartes establishes that cogito is truth. Okay. Does he establish through criteria of truth, or does he establish through his method of doubt? Yes. Question is, why does Descartes not doubt? So hint is that he establishes from method of doubt. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Is
Yes, sir.
cogito established because it is clear and distinct, or is cogito established because that I doubt cannot be doubted?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. The latter.
Correct. So introduction में आप लिख सकते हो Descartes. What was the problem for Descartes? He wanted to find out the certitude of mathematics in the field of philosophy. For this, what did he set as a broad criteria? Yes. Resolute refusal to not accept anything that is not,
Clearly perceived.
yes, clear and distinct, or clearly and distinctively perceived. Therefore, he starts to doubt. When doubt has done its worst, it establishes something which is indubitable. That is, that I doubt cannot be doubted. In the process, you can write Descartes has doubted science, math, perception, dream, etc. From this indubitable truth cogito, Descartes establishes the existence of God. So यहाँ पर आप लिखेंगे that Descartes establishes the existence of God as a logical principle from this cogito, because this cogito has an innate idea of God. Its cause can be God itself, because I am not, or human beings are not. Yes. Perfect. Also, the veracity of God stands as a guarantee for what? His criteria of truth, that is clear and distinct.
Distinct.
Yes. So you can write that famous line: the ontological assumption to the methodological criteria. Yes. So why does Descartes not doubt the existence of God? Because God stands as the touchstone for knowledge. God stands as the guarantor of the criteria of truth, that is clear and distinct. लेकिन यहाँ पर you will also be writing a criticism of this. What will be the criticism? यहाँ पर आप डिटेल में लिख देंगे Descartes argues in a circle the veracity of God. On the basis of veracity of God, Descartes establishes the truth of clear and distinct, and on the clear and distinct innate ideas, on the basis of clear and distinct innate ideas, what does Descartes establish? Yes, the existence of
God.
God. But conclusion में आप लिखेंगे that one is from the epistemological level, the other is from the metaphysical level. और एक बहुत ही अच्छी लाइन आपके नोट्स में लिखी है जो मेरा मानना है कि आप जरूर लिख के आइए. That is, Descartes seeks to establish the metaphysics of what is from the epistemology of. Yes, Abhishek. What can be? No. ठीक है, बाकी आपका भी देख लेते हैं क्या लिखा है आपने. ठीक है, आइडियाज ऑफ सेल्फ. चलिए, nevertheless, N.K. Singh points out that Descartes has not been able to lay any logical criteria for clearness and the veracity of God is the ontological assumption for the methodological criterion. ठीक बात है. Descartes next goes on to prove the existence of God. He first establishes God's existence as a logical deduction from cogito, then supports it with further proof in his causal arguments. I don't know why.
Sir, I support.
हाँ, मतलब I don't think proofs for existence of God is a requirement here. And to this,
Okay,
Descartes
sir.
argues that had man himself been the cause. ये सब तो ठीक है. Therefore, God exists and is independent. He supports his argument to prove that he does not doubt the existence of God through his criteria. Anything can be accepted true only if it is clear and distinct, and God stands as a fairly, because God creates clear and distinct ideas. In one's mind, he won't be deceived. ठीक है. Thus, God's idea, according to Descartes, is that perfect being. ठीक है. Just there, but just not about there. Idea is fine.
Yes, sir.
Thing is, probably while writing the answer, you did not realize that this is the answer. So you are just going there and जैसे वो नवाजुद्दीन सिद्दीकी का डायलॉग है ना कि आपने मौत को ऐसे छुके. So something like that with respect to you and the answer also. Good part is you submitted on time and it is very near to the answer. Okay. What was the question? Yes.
So why does Descartes not doubt the existence of God? Explain.
So this is Descartes' doubt, not God. चलिए, और किसी ने लिखा है ये आंसर? Alert. What is the alert? I came across your website. Would you be interested? No, we would not be interested. Yes, Kanchan has also written. The veracity of God is the ontological assumption of the methodological criterion. Descartes' existence of God from the concept. ठीक है, ये तो ठीक लिखा आपने. इसको एक्सप्लेन करना था ना, इसका क्या मतलब है? Again, you have also converted this into a proofs for existence of God. सवाल क्या पूछ रहा है? Why does Descartes not doubt the existence of God? अगर यही क्वेश्चन मान लीजिए आपके पेपर 2 में पूछा रहता तो आप ये सब बातें लिखते. There you would have laid more emphasis on giving arguments for existence of God. But it is asked in paper 1, so you'll be writing more of paper 1 content rather than paper 2 content.
Okay.
I think यही आपने लिखा है आगे. ठीक है. Descartes does not doubt God due to several reasons. God existence is self-evident, can be known through reason. In ensuring clear and precise for the existence of external, the causal. From cogito ergo sum, Descartes establishes the existence of self and considers it to be indubitable. Then through logical deduction, he establishes the existence of God. ये जो innate idea है, this is not causal argument from that perspective. ये ही वो argument है how he is logically deducing. ठीक है. ये जो लॉजिकल डिडक्शन हम लिख रहे हैं उसी के बारे में आप लिख रहे हैं. हम बस इसको ये कह रहे हैं कि इसको ऑन्टोलॉजिकल ना कह के कॉजल कहना चाहिए. Anything can be accepted to be true or real if it is clear and distinct, and the concept of God stands this test fairly. हाँ, ये ऐसे आप सब्सटेंशिएट कर सकते हैं. यू मे राइट द ऑन्टोलॉजिकल प्रूफ लाइक दिस टू सब्सटेंशिएट. ये ठीक है, चल जाएगा. The existence of God is proved from the idea of perfect being, just as equality of three angles of a triangle is equal to two right angle follows from the very idea of triangle. ठीक बात है. Rest of this is fine. Good answer. First good answer of today. So structure क्या है? Why does Descartes does not doubt the existence of God? So in Descartes' philosophy, there is an indubitable truth. या हम पहले लिख दें मेथड ऑफ डाउट. In method of doubt, Descartes doubts science, mathematics, perception, dream, science and mathematical knowledge. This reveals something which is indubitable. That I doubt cannot be doubted. So from here, from cogito, this cogito has certain innate ideas. One of those innate ideas is the idea of a perfect God. What can be its cause? यहाँ पर innate idea में लिख लीजिएगा. These innate ideas are clearly and distinctively perceived. What can be its cause? God alone. For human beings are imperfect. Therefore, Descartes first establishes God and then substantiates it with proofs. For example, the concept of perfect God includes his existence, just as a triangle includes two right angles, या जो भी प्रूफ है वो जो भी आपका डेकार्ट का प्रूफ है. Also, God stands as a touchstone for knowledge. इसमें आप वो सारी बातें लिख देंगे जो आपने ऊपर में लिखी है. The veracity of God stands as a guarantee for the criteria of clear and distinctiveness as the criteria of truth. पर आप ये लिखेंगे according to N.K. Smith, Descartes is arguing in a circle. From veracity of God, truth of clear and distinct. From innate ideas which are clear and distinct, the veracity of existence of God is deduced. On this, Russell remarks. What is the Russell's remark? Modern Western rationalism is introduced by Descartes. By what process? Yes.
Circuitous route of scholasticism.
Yes. By words play, circuitous route of scholasticism. Okay, otherwise a good answer. इसको अभी किसी को दे देंगे, अपलोड कर देंगे ये लोग. आपको आपके कोर्स के ग्रुप में या टेलीग्राम चैनल पे इसको अपलोड कर देंगे. ओके, डू आई नीड टू राइट द आंसर और इज इट क्लियर?
Yes.
यस. Shabya, Kanchan, is the answer clear
Clear,
or
sir.
clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
ठीक है, धन्यवाद. So we have completed Descartes. Now my request is, अभी 10 बज रहा है, कृपया जो है लिबर्टी और क्राइम एंड पनिशमेंट इन दोनों को रिवाइज कर लीजिए. जस्ट गो थ्रू लिबर्टी, रिवाइज क्राइम एंड पनिशमेंट. देयर इज हार्डली 10-20 पेजेस नोट्स, और बहुत ही मतलब फॉन्ट छोटा कर दिया जाए तो 5 पेज में आ जाए, वैसे नोट्स हैं. सो प्लीज रिवाइज इट, ताकि कल जब हम नेक्स्ट मैराथन लिखें, विल राइट ऑन लिबर्टी, इक्वालिटी, क्राइम एंड पनिशमेंट. ओके, we'll write 2 to 3 questions on all of them, and we'll complete this section of socio-political philosophy. Okay, then in the next class we'll write Spinoza, Leibniz, and hopefully Locke. Okay, I hope the classes are beneficial and it's not too slow, otherwise we can increase the pace. Thing is, you people are not writing a good answer, that is why I'm not increasing the pace. Yes. No news is good news. Okay, so no view is also good view. So that is all for today. Thank you for your time and patience. We'll meet tomorrow again with liberty, equality, crime and punishment.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.